That. I'm live. Oh no, wait. Input. Is it working? Oh, okay. I was reading the wrong one. My bad. Ooh, everything's working. Chat, I have a problem. I have a massive problem, and it's not the invasion currently happening in Spain. I am so distraught over all of these open files. What are they doing here? Hello. What am I? Where's the browser page that I was looking at before? Hello? That's not actually the one that I was looking for. Oh, no. Is this it? No. Oh, no. Oh, no. I can't find my YouTube page again. Oh, no. Okay, I gotta put that over there, and I gotta get that off that monitor. Holy shit. Hang on, chat. I just had you. No, I don't. I gotta get to the YouTube page. Where is it? How do I do that? I accidentally closed the fucking tab. I actually genuinely don't know how to get back to the... Oh, wait. Go live, maybe? Stream. Okay, this has to be it. There we go. I did it. I figured it out. That was scary. I didn't think I'd be able to find you again, and I'd have to restart. Hello. Hi, how are you? So, let me remove my heating pad from my spinal column. Oh, that's hot. Oh, what's going on? I made an oopsie, but it's okay. We're back. We're good. Everything's good. Everything's great. No, except for my life. Two things to talk about here. For one, I decided to go look at the toes of my dear sweet adventuring because I was drawing him and I was drawing his toesies and I remembered he had open-toed shoes and I can't remember what they looked like because I wasn't paying attention. As I choke on my truth. God damn it. No, they gave him non-Egyptian toes. His big toe and his second toe are roughly the same length, and that is not Egyptian anatomy, and I am distraught. So I have to respect canon. I have to respect the canon, and I have to accept that he has not the Egyptian toes, and that's upsetting. But it is what it is, I suppose. And there's nothing I can do about that, which is tragic. My second complaint for the day and why my day is so awful is simply because my pink-haired queen from Zenless Zone Zero refused to come home. Ended up failing my 50-50. I did record it because originally it was just going to be background for my video that was out. But then when I failed the 50-50, I decided not to because, well, I mean, I did record the audio. It's a little funny, my freak out, but basically I was just hoping for a casual pull in the background of a video because it would be funny. No, I failed, so I'm not happy about that. So I ended up blowing all of what I thought would have been a fine enough quantity. I still haven't gotten Remule. And I'm very upset by that. So I am very upset by that. And I'm going to channel that upsetness. Actually, I'm really not that upset. I can't even lie. Because last night, what I did to make myself feel better was I discovered how Arknights actually handles past events and you can unlock them. So that way you can still get the free premium currency that you get from completing it. Which means I have a new source of all the gold rocks that let me keep playing the fucking game. And that's a good thing because that means I can keep playing the fucking game, right? Because I keep, just fucking loving what I'm doing. Oh my god, though, farming is a bitch. I'm definitely doing everything inefficiently as fuck. Like, I did not look at a single guide. I just do what I want, and that's always going to be the most inefficient thing. But anyway, so last night, I earned up 21 of the things, and I bought used skin, the latest outfit for him, and it's so cute! I'm so happy! It's the little things. It's the little things. It is. But how's everybody doing? How is everybody doing? I don't know if something worked, but there we go. Hello, thank you, Certifiedian, so much for the tipper. Hey, Savvy, finally made it to one of your live streams. Thank you so much for your generosity, homie. I'm glad you did too. Welcome in. Welcome in. I don't hate chat. And hello. Yes, we're doing good. The Porsche fund is upon us. She got tricked by the lady of the dice. She got distracted. I did get distracted. But how's everybody? That's my life. That's what's happening with my life and the things that are currently affecting it. I hope everybody else is having good luck. Oh, I decided to pull again because I was so close to finishing up Wang. So I was like, fuck it. What's another 10 pull? Ended up getting a 6-star. I thought, oh my God, if it's Wang, this will be funny. No, it was Chen, which is fine. Chen is very strong. She's a very fun unit. I've actually, thanks to her, won many a game. And then I just powered up Wang even more. So now he's like actually strong and like at the 2nd promotion level. And I started doing the training stuff, which I guess they kind of expected you to do sooner. But well, whatever. I'm so new in it. So. Oh, well. But yeah, so I did not finish off Wang, but I'm almost considered a Wang whale. He had new art released in the Chinese version, so they're still thinking of him, thank God. I'm assuming they must do like secondary art in line with when Global gets stuff. I don't know. Trying to pull your Wang, you'll go blind. Yes, don't pull too hard for Wang. You'll overexert yourself. But it is what it is. Thank you so much for the jewels and the sparkles, even though I don't like them. So, at least send something more interesting than a sparkle. Ugh. No, I'm just kidding. That was so funny. I was like, what the fuck is that? Oh, man. We got some stuff to make fun of. Honestly, we have some serious stuff to make fun of, and then we have some not serious stuff to make fun of. So, like, what do you guys want to... That's why you send them? So much love. So much love. So, how do you guys want to start this off? Do we want to start off with the serious shit that's happening right now where even Italy responded? Or do we want to just go make fun of, like, the non-serious stuff and make fun of fat people? It's honestly up to you guys. I have a bunch of tabs. And it just depends how serious you guys want to be today. So we can either talk about this or we can talk about the fats. Here, you know what? Let's do a poll. We'll engage with the audience and we'll start a poll. Serious, funny. What to talk about? There we go. Start the poll. Look at me engaging with the tools that YouTube provides. So now you guys can vote. Now you guys can vote. I don't know. Did the other choice? What happens if... Oh, if I click on it. Now I can see both of them. I don't know how these things work. So you guys want to talk about the serious stuff? First, I mean, we'll probably touch on everything, honestly. We will. Okay, so that's good enough for me. You love democracy? Me too. I mean, I'll give you... Oh, funny people are actually starting to sway the vote. The funnies are starting to sway the vote there. Very cool. I'll give you another second. I don't. Are you guys gonna even equalize it? What are you doing? Go vote. Okay, your voting time is over. I'm done. Serious it is. The order of operations for the tabs will commence as is. So today, thousands of migrants continue crossing from Morocco into Spain's Ceuta? Is the C pronounced like the Mexicanese C or I think it's Ceuta, right? It's not going to be Cuta. That doesn't make sense to me. I don't know. I don't speak Mexicanese. That's actually a lie. I was taught it for many years growing up in Texas. I should have a much better understanding of the Spanish language than I do. I just never kept up with it. It gets me by for basic insults on Overwatch. I basically just hit them with a "Donde está la biblioteca?" and they just don't even know what to do. Damn, we failed the 50-50. Bro, we failed. Ceuta. Okay, so I was right. I was a little bit correct there in my assumptions. I don't want to mispronounce it. Now, I didn't know where this was, what it was, how it was, why it is, whatever. So this Ceuta area is actually not on the main Spain land. It's actually at the northernmost part of Africa, and it is owned by Spain. I didn't know that, okay? I knew about like colonization, obviously, and European occupation, but no, this area is completely owned and recognized, obviously, as a part of Spain. There are some people who are trying to argue that it's not, and that's why it's not an invasion, as if that excuses a bunch of military-aged men, and nothing but military-aged men running through the streets and causing a ruckus, right? So now that the geography lesson is out of the way, And now we kind of know where this is. The leftists who run Spain are doing nothing about this and just assumed that, yeah, thousands of sudden homeless 20-year-old men jacked up from whatever the fuck they came from. Yeah, that'll work out great, right? That'll work out great. It won't because they're already causing a ruckus here. But this is, and the other thing that actually really upsets me is that we're calling them migrants and we're still doing this game of calling it immigration. This is an infestation. This is an illegal occupation. And I'll have no other phrasing of it. I'm sorry. I'm tired of this. What could possibly go wrong? Oh, fucking everything. These are all, if you go and you look at some of the other videos, here we go. Look at this.
At the border
it's all
Spain.
men. It's all military-aged men. No women and children. No disabled. No gays fleeing terrible hostilities towards them. At a certain point in history, I could understand if that's what we were helping. If we were helping women and children to break free from the chains of oppression. If we were bringing over just the gays, for instance, because there are local laws that would still push them from buildings. I could understand that. But when you actually look into all of the quote unquote remigration or immigration or the people fleeing areas, almost none of them were actual victims. And the majority of them were basically this: flea-bitten individuals who care not for the laws and rules of another nation. They're merely individuals who want to take. They want to take freely. So I disagree with this. At any other point in history, they would just mark them. No, it's true. And it saddens me greatly that men no longer have a suit of armor and a sword at home ready to go to battle. Our first world nations have made us all complacent. We forgot what the natural state and the natural order is. In nature, wolves fight over territory despite being the same species. We, at the end of the day, are unfortunately no different from the wolf, except for the fact that we have, for some reason, retarded wolves that are allowed to vote and make choices so that way the men who need to do men things can't do the man thing because women are voting. Ah, great. Wonderful, isn't it? I fucking love it. And once again, we are back to the usual place of women being the problem. Savvy, think about how much you must hate to want to punish people this way. The amount of hatred that leftists have is truly inconceivable. They give amnesty to these parasites. This is what they deserve. That's disgusting. Unfortunately, there are innocents now who will be impacted by this. I never care, so long as the people who voted for it are the only ones affected. I genuinely don't care. If somebody seeks an early grave, then so be it. Die young and leave a pretty corpse, I always say. I don't. I'm terrified of death. But the point remains. If somebody chooses to no longer be upon this earth, I support them in their choice because I don't care. But when that choice starts impacting the innocents and it starts impacting me, that's problematic. I don't want it. I want no part of it. And so we sit and laugh. But isn't Spain very feminist? Oh, it is. It is. And I am very happy that all the feminists are getting what they want. All of them. Just found out the maiden with hazel eyes is live. No, with eyes of hazel. No. They are green. God damn it. God damn it. Their lost cause. Also, I learned to call Francisco Franco as San Francisco by listening to the radio host Michael Savage and his program Savage Nation. Wow. I like that. Francisco. That's cute. I like that a lot. Spain brought this upon themselves with the PM they elected. Well, see, much like with Poland, much like with America, much like with a lot of places, I wonder how genuine the votes were. Because I do have a hard time with actually finding people in the wild who support it. Online, it's bots. You can never tell. You never know. I haven't been able to come across, like with Poland, there is not one single person any of my family has ever come across that has voted for any of the leftists, right? When it comes to Spain, there's a couple people I know, they talk to their families, they don't know who the fuck is voting for this shit. I'm not saying that they don't exist. There is a large population of insanity in this world. There is. It's truly too large for what it is. What I'm merely saying is I'm just wondering if all these places have truly been bamboozled, you know? Because the common person's just going to be like, oh, well, you know, if that's how people vote, then I guess that's how people vote. And that causes, you know, complacency. They just assume because there's so many people. How could you possibly check, right? But it is what it is. I did meet a cute Spanish nun. She was gorgeous. Ugh. Spain has a serious commie infestation. They do. They do. And they just got 5,000 fucking more voters. That's great. My solution to this, of course, would be, you know, very swift and severe. I wouldn't actually worry about this. As an American, I'm now looking to my leaders to watch this invasion and to say, what are we doing about Morocco? As an American, I will be writing to my politicians and I will be asking them if they will be declaring anything against Morocco for this. Because a government that does not control its people, I would assume, is actually actively sending them. I would take this as a declaration of war, as a declaration of intent. I really would. It is up for the people to change their own home country. Do not go somewhere else just because your home country is shit. It's not my problem. It's not Japan's problem. It's not America's problem. It's not Spain's problem. It's not Italy's problem. It might as well be France's problem, though, because they're a third world shithole. But at the end of the day, nobody else is actually obligated to take in filth. I genuinely believe with every passing day, Africa continues to show why it should be completely walled off from the rest of the world and the internet. Most importantly, the internet. Absolutely. If tomorrow I could be elected, literally wouldn't do everything in my power to ensure that Africa was so completely crippled in its ability to send people out that maybe I'd say send them back to the Stone Age, but they didn't actually make it there. They didn't actually make it there. They're still in clay huts, so I don't know. Morocco is our oldest ally, actually. Okay, well, let's go look that up. I don't know that, and I don't want to say something because you could be correct. I don't know that. Is Morocco our oldest ally? Let's see. How Morocco became America's oldest friend. This is actually impressive. I didn't know this. Morocco is the United States' oldest international ally. Well, you could have confused me by the way that we've been treated. And first country to recognize American... Oh... What they want from us. In 1777, Sultan Mohammed III, which Mohammed are they on now? Jesus, declared that American merchant ships could enter Moroccan ports, offering the first diplomatic recognition of the fledgling U.S. nation. This was formalized by the Treaty of Peace and Friendship. What happened to our treat? I can't even say the word. I'm about to stroke out like the quartering does. Holy fuck. Treaty of Peace and Friendship. What happened to it? Where's our peace and friendship? Why is there no peace from the Moroccans now? Signed in 1786 and ratified in 1787, which remains the longest unbroken bilateral treaty relationship in U.S. history. Well, it's time to break it. It's time to break it because this is How many illegals have left Morocco and gone to other nations without papers, hence the illegal bitch part. The provided search context doesn't contain specific enough data. Let's see here. Noted that over 18th. No, I don't want your fucking asylum shit. Here it is. Wait. Over 18,000 refugees and asylum seekers were registered with UNHCR by 2025. And the Moroccan authorities stopped approximately 45,000 migration attempts between January and September. 45,000 migration attempts between January and September 2024. That's in 1 year. What the fuck? What is wrong with them? This is a worthless nation that is doing worthless shit. What happened to them? Why are all their men trying to flee? Why are they being allowed to flee? Why have we not walled this country off and tried to figure out what the fuck the problem is? What is going on? I don't care if Morocco is the first person we traded with. Maybe Morocco needs to be the first person walled off to figure out what the fuck's going on with their illegal bullshit. Spain is getting, let's go, do we have actually any live feeds? Live Spain invasion. Let's see if I can find anything. Let's see if I can find it live, huh? If you guys have a live stream, let me know what to look for. We'll pull it up. Moment angry locals waving Spanish flag chase migrants down the street after thousands invade enclave as army is called in. So I found obviously pictures and things like that, but I'd like maybe some more video. We'll find some other video too here. We'll just play this. We don't need to hear whatever the fuck Fox is saying. We can just see it, right? Like I don't care what somebody else's opinion is. Look at this. Look at all these men. Look at all these men. It's crazy. The invasion will be televised. Well, technically it is. Sitan Melila or Meia or something. The double L does the cool thing. They started attacking us the moment they realized we weren't part of the British Empire. Oh, is that what they were maybe afraid of? Well, it's mostly the why do they have so many criminals? Why is it a country of criminals? You know? Like, our criminals aren't trying to leave. How come? Isn't that crazy? I wish our criminals would fucking leave. God, imagine if Tim Walz just, like, deported himself to Morocco where he belongs. Fucking freak. I just burped while I was taking a sip of root beer. That was retarded. Oh, my God. I mean, look at this. This is... I can't fathom this. To me, this has to be AI or a movie. I cannot fathom this. I really can't. Would it be a stretch to call it reverse colonization? No, because colonization is the attempt. Is colonization the right word? I consider colonization different from conquering and invading maliciously like this. I don't know. There was some rumors. King of Morocco pardoned prison a couple of months ago or weeks before this. What exactly do they do once they arrive? Where exactly are they running to? Exactly! What do these fuckers do? Because that's also, they have no documents. They have no way to make money. They probably don't, I don't know what language they fucking speak, all right? I don't know if there's a language barrier. We've seen people come to America with a language barrier. That's just why I bring that up. Like, who's hiring them? How are they surviving? Are all of them going to turn to thievery, rape, and other crimes? Like what is the end game? Do they just show up at a shelter and then expect to be taken care of, and then there's no resources for the local homeless who are trying to bounce back? Like, what the fuck is the deal? What is the part of what is up with that? Get on government assistance and get put in hotels? Yeah, I guess that's the only end game. But like, genuinely, otherwise, what do they do? And surely not all of them will end up in the hotels. Not all of them will end up in the lines being serviced by feminists, right? So what do people do? Like, when I think about, you know, coming on hard times, it's very different from what this is. When you come on hard times and you end up homeless, you at least had things to sell along the way. Some people keep their cars or downgrade their car and like still have a shelter. They still have skill sets though, and they're trying to find jobs. I'm not talking about the people who turned to drugs and like caused their own homelessness through addiction. I'm just genuinely talking about people who have poor financial management or, you know, moved to California, which is still poor financial management, and then lost their job and then became homeless because if you miss your rent payment in California, well, you're fucked. Not because they're hard on you, but just because it's so fucking much. Moroccans speak Arabic. Secondary is French. Okay, so obviously Spain does not speak those languages. Spain speaks fucking Spanish and English. Spain are committing suicidal empathy. It's way worse than that, honestly. In Morocco, they speak full Arabic. Okay. Also Algeria. Wait, Algeria? What about it? It's exactly an invasion. Colonization has been misdefined for the last few years when it was people moving to the wilderness where little, if no, society existed around it. Yeah, exactly. Like, when you go to when you talk about the colonization of Africa, that makes perfect fucking sense because they're all living in fucking mud huts. And then you try to go and teach the local population, and then if the local population can't be taught with or traded with, then, you know, shit happens if they stop being peaceful. Otherwise, for the most part, like, colonization is not the act of, like, taking peaceful people and, like, fucking moving them around for the most part. That's not colonization, all right? Colonization involves other things. Now, when you're talking about things like subjugation or, you know, that stuff, of course, obviously happened. And there was some colonization that was not good. or done as peacefully or with positive intent. But then again, you wouldn't call that colonization. You would call that conquest, right? That's how I would personally do it. Isn't the rent free in Cali? Just squat. Well, see, that's the thing that I never understand. How is it that there's so many homeless and so many mansions? Why don't they just go in and squat? I don't understand. I would love to do that. Like if I knew that somebody was leaving, like a rich person was like leaving for a week, I'd go squat just to like prove a point. Now I would never be allowed to though because I am a white woman. So not to mention European countries are all playing hot potato, purposely sending these migrants to other. Stop calling them migrants. They're invading flea bags. We got to get away from that. Every one of us has been conditioned to play this word game. Look at us being nice. Look at us being forced into that. Fuck that. Refer to them as the filth that they are and say it so unapologetically. Stop it. I'm done playing these games. They're parasites. I hate it. That's true. They are parasites. I saw a half-Japanese streamer get harassed and pressed by a foreign tout for the crime of having a camera. Oh, I saw that. How do these scammers thrive on Japan streets is beyond me. Well, there's a whole area that's very scary to go to. And it's like their version of the red light district. It's Africans who will come up to you and touch you and try to like get you to their bar so that way they can drug you and steal your shit. And it's very scary. Even in my 20s, I would have never gone over there because that kind of thing scares the fuck out of me. So, yeah, I don't know. And I hope that the more this stuff, I just hope more and more people, the only way this changes for Japan, for America, for everywhere, is everybody talks about it every fucking day. You have to make it somebody's fucking problem. You have to. And the only way that this changes, because nobody's willing to pick up a sword, is through voting, unfortunately. So you just have to fucking keep showing people the horrors of this. Not squatting for you, Savvy. It's perching. God damn it. God damn it. I was homeless since I was 5. I can only live alone. Society says men are disposable. If Gen Z doesn't want booze or a job, they're not wrong. Everything is broken for everyone that badly. Yeah, things are broken. It's truly sad. Honor Sharp, thank you so much for the tippy. It's noodles, isn't it? Bless you. Oh my goodness. I had such a good noodly night. I tell you what, I was just rolling all night in my noodle. There was an actual cosplayer like sponsored by the company. So this would have been official cosplay. And so you kind of get to see the approval for the tail. Oh my God, Wang's noodle is so big and noodly. Like the fucking person, like it's made out of light, fluffy shit. So obviously it's not heavy, but when you think about the character himself in his world, how heavy is that fucking noodle? Like his ass has got to be perky, right? I mean, every time he gets up, he's lifting an extra 50 pounds minimum. I could go on and on about Wang's tail. Also, obsessed with Wang now. Like, what the fuck? That's a big oopsie on my part. I accidentally fell in love with him, which is the best kind of accidental. It's kind of like the same thing that happened with Riesli, but not really. Because with Riesli, everybody was like, oh my God, you're going to love him because he's a leather daddy. Oh my God, you're going to love him because every girl fucking wants to fondle his big titties and his fucking whatever. And I was like, okay, why is everybody drawing him like a beefcake? Like, I understand what we're trying to do, but he still looks so soft. So, like, what are we doing here? But no, I ended up loving his character, right? It wasn't until later when they released Varka that they said, oh, yeah, actually, we are willing to make Titan men. So it's like, I kind of wish we still had the respected canon for most artists of Riesli just being pretty and, like, being fit. But, like, Varka is the beefcake. Not that beefcake conversation even has to come into question with Wang. Wang is not a beefcake. He is a noodle master. What are we talking about? We're not supposed to be talking about this. My bad. Honor Sharp, thank you so much for the tippy. Whoops, sorry. It started from the beginning of the stream, and I didn't notice a random tax. Ooh, and I saw that. Thick noodle boy. Bless you. Yes. Oh, so good. Savvy is obsessed with Wang. I am. It's true. I do. I have so much Wang. I'm actually really upset I didn't finish him off now, but it's canon that Savvy has a huge Wang. It's true. I do. It's very impressive and girthy. Oh. I found it so funny that, like, just because I went with it a little bit, people genuinely had no idea Like they're like, oh, well, you know, it's fine. But like everybody was cool with it. And I was like, wow, if I actually came out as like somebody with a fucking penis, you guys would all be cool with it. That's amazing. That's wonderful. It really puts to rest the commentary of other people, you know? It really fucking does. But don't worry. There'll be none of that here. Just kidding. My cock is massive. I'm just kidding again. Not really. Are you allowed to say cock on fucking YouTube? I think I've said it a few times, but like I've always wondered. I don't know. I just feel like cock is so jarring to most people. You say penor, you know, you try to make it funny, but then it's like somebody drops a cock and you're like, whoa, you've got huevos, my friend. We are cultured here, exceptionally cultured. It's true. We've all seen her wang before. Kind of scared me when I first saw it. Isn't it great? Savvy's a femboy confirmed. You know, who knows? Maybe there's an alt account of me somewhere where I'm baiting gay men by calling myself a femboy. Who knows? Savvy didn't let Wang finish. I didn't. And it's very sad, isn't it? She means cocky, YouTube. She means cocky. I don't. I mean the phallic cock. All right, let's go to the next tab and see what we got. Oh, we have a Hassan story. We have this guy. We got some Pal World. We've got some fun theoretical shit. You know, I don't feel like talking about this one. This one looks a little funny just because it's the usual suspects. But basically, these women are like, oh my God, stop it. He's just a boy. The boy, by the way, pulled a fucking knife on the CVS employee. So, you know, it's just like a little bit of cathartic, you know, video. It is. So it's 5 minutes. I don't want to watch the whole thing, but basically it's just like, wow, this is crazy. This is just like this is just furthering the point of women being problematic, you know? They just are. And then this one also popped up too. I thought it was interesting the way that the AI continues to play racism. No, you're not allowed to want a doctor who's white. If you're white, that's considered not ethically acceptable. But if you're black and you want a black doctor, it's okay to say that. I'm just going to go ahead and say it right now. Literally, the only doctors I will ever have in my life are white old men and like fucking Asians. Japanese, Chinese, or you know, a half version of that. No Indians. I had an Indian once. It was a woman. Biggest mistake of my fucking life. Oh, Savage, you still had to finish. No. Okay? No. The way she used the tool was not correct. All right? I've had this procedure done plenty of times, and by far, the Indian woman was the most worthless to the point that I almost kicked her in the face and left, but I just dealt with it. Never again. Holy fuck. Ugh. I'd sooner let a man do it, a fucking white man do it, than an Indian woman again, because holy shit. No. But yeah, anyway. So this is just interesting. It's just crazy. Also that too, and this is kind of like a different one. If you ever see a fat doctor, fucking run. Fucking run. I guess we can, since now we're talking about women, we can actually, we'll come back. We'll talk about that last because these are funny. You were tempted to kick, well, because like she's hurting me, you know, like she's being stupid. She's being stupid with a device. I was having my womanly duties checked, you know, those things. They created a new tool that's supposed to be easier on women. And so this is, you know, my second time with this tool. And I know how it's supposed to feel now. She's just fucking worthless. Fucking worthless. Indian doctors used to be top tier before they figured out how to print degree certificates. Well, yeah, like back in the 90s, you could get yourself a pretty decent Indian doctor, I think. I think one of the ones in the clinic that I went to as a kid was like a half one. That was my mother's main one, but she liked her, I think. But now that all the H-1B visa shit has come out too, and how they basically just lie about their qualifications, yeah, I don't know what the fuck's happening, so it's just better to just not do that. A fat chef is a good sign. That is true. Yep. Kirsch would prefer a male OB than female. I have never complained with a male, which is interesting. I only swapped to a woman one because that's just what they had that day for years ago when I did finally have to get one here. My male one was perfect. I was sad that I had to leave some of my doctors back in Nebraska. They were really good. They were. A lot of doctors have faked. Well, I wouldn't use the word fake degree, but you know, they went to lesser schools and do have lesser educations. So. And NYU yes. So, continuing my tirade against why women are problematic. This is a fascinating post. I have not watched the video. I read a little bit about it, but I figure we can watch this. We're going to watch and listen to this one together.
Would you like them to be out in the street? Let's just say somebody who has raped a woman.
Totally.
Would you like them to be out in the street?
I think my answer is yes, even though that's a challenging answer to say.
So if you got raped, would you like your rapist to be out in the street?
Well, like, let me finish, because I have been raped, and they are out in the street, and I'm not sure like them going to jail is a solution to like whatever's going on inside their heart, or even my own heart that like contributed to that experience that I'm having. And I don't want more people to get raped, but I don't know for certain.
This right here is the number one reason on why women should not vote. This right here is why women need to be second-class citizens. I will happily give up my ability to vote if it prevents bitches like this from being able to vote and impact people.
Certain that going into a jail in the United States is going to shift anything inside of their...
She's absolutely right. There is nothing about our jailing system that shifts anything inside of a criminal. Most criminals just go back to doing the same criminal bullshit. She's absolutely correct on that. We need to have an unapologetically terrifying jail system. We don't have that. People need to lose hands for theft. If you are a repeat thief, you lose your arm or your other hand. Don't care. If you're a rapist, you forfeit your cock and balls. If you rape again, you just forfeit life. I don't know how you'd rape again without, without a penis. I guess you could force your fingers into somebody or objects. But then again, that would be the second point. Then you just lose your fucking life. I firmly believe that with all of my heart, she is absolutely correct that nothing about the current jail systems does anything to deter criminal behavior. She is absolutely correct on that, and that's why we need an actual extremist in the goddamn White House, not this passive bullshit.
Their like operating system so that they'll make a different choice again.
Wow, well, thank you guys so much for your time. And is there one last message you'd like to give the people about the rise of communism or freeing the people inside the prisons?
Just like free yourself from the own prison in your heart, and then maybe we can...
Yeah, just stop raping people, rapists. Like, just stop it. Yeah, that's working out real well. How about you go to Africa? How about you go to Egypt, wear a bikini, and say, guys, just free yourself from, like, all that hate. And see what happens. It'd be a really fun science experiment, don't you think? It'd be really fucking fun. And before somebody were to ever take that out of context and say, Savvy, why would you say that? Why would you say go to a country known for having such a high sexual assault rate? Why would you tell a woman to go? Oh, little leftist, really? Really? If it's not problematic and her ways work, what's wrong with that, huh? Why can't she go over to Egypt and wear a bikini and be surrounded by people and say, just let go of the hate in your heart? Why can't she? Oh, you do know about the demographic data. Interesting. Why are you voting to import all of these people into our country then? Do you think that just because they're on our soil, they'll suddenly say, oh, you know what? Rape is bad. Isn't that crazy? That's clearly not fucking working. We've tested for the last few years and confirmed all of the fucking illegal parasites that we brought into this country who were gonna rape, they still raped. That's wild. That is wild. Anyway, so this is the number one reason right here. I mean, look at how unhappy she is. Look at this fucking waste of space who gets to fucking vote and who unfortunately gets to benefit of the resources and labors provided by others. I firmly believe that if this was like, 200 years ago and these motherfuckers had to hunt and gather their own food, natural selection would just take them. But now, because we keep the weak alive, our society is weak. Now, this wholeheartedly By the way, my bottom 2 percentile, this qualifies for bottom 2 percentile. No, she's not the rapist, but she's the reason the rapist is free. And that to me is almost worse than the rapist, because the rapist I can get rid of. The rapist, I can say, look at this evil person, and 9 out of 10 people will agree with me. But this one motherfucking cunt sits there and she says, yeah, I don't know about that. Maybe he'll just like not rape again. No, bitch, he's gonna keep doing it. Stupid bitch. Stupid hoe. Stupid. On Chef, thanks so much for the tippy. What's a little grape between friends? Savvy, tasteless joke tax. My favorite. I love tasteless jokes. I love grape jokes. I do. I truly do. The word does not bother me in the slightest. I used to say it quite often. Then, of course, for a little while, it became, it's not something that you can say because trigger word. And I'm like, oh, okay, you know what? That makes a little bit of sense if people are a little bit, like if I don't have to use the word, I suppose I could use another one. No, that was my mistake back in 2016, 17, 18, 19, and being fucking nice. Nice for people, by the way, who want me dead. Nice towards people who don't care about me. And nice to the very people who now call me a Nazi because I don't want the rapists to be here. So I'm going to make my rape jokes and I'm going to talk about rape and it's going to be fucking great. We're going to educate people on all these fucking illegals. We're going to do that. And then we're going to have tasteless rape jokes and it's going to be great. Yeah, but YouTube censors the supers. That they do. I know why you had to type it. But I said it unapologetically for you. Don't worry. I will be the voice. I will be the voice to turn all the grape into rape. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. There's nothing wrong with those jokes. After all, everyone makes the prison joke all the time. That's true. You like rape jokes? Then I got one for you. Why aren't rapes ever... Oh, wait, grapes. See, I was already replacing it. You like grape jokes? Then I got one for you. Why aren't grapes ever lonely? Because they come in bunches. Yeah, see, that didn't work as I was saying it properly. You like rape jokes? Then I got one for you. Why aren't rapes ever lonely? Because they come in bunches. I was like, wow, that doesn't make any sense. That's crazy. That was a joke in and of itself there. So why have I got all of these anti-women things? Well, that's because an interesting post has been made. Emerald Apple here has been wonderful, and I've been retweeting them often. So Japan's population falls below 120 million for the first time in decades. Honestly, populations come and go in small amounts, and they're just going to have to figure out for themselves. But basically, this big, huge, long post is something that I completely agree with in terms of assessment. The outcome, I think, is always fun, though, for people to have a little biological, philosophical discussion. But basically, Emerald says that there's 3 options that countries can take for these kinds of situations. Take away women's rights to education and employment, which I actually agree with. Import a large number of foreigners to bolster the population numbers. This is currently where we're at, and obviously what Emerald says that's where we're at as well. Number 3, invest in the future tech that removes women from the sole gatekeeper of reproduction, such as artificial wombs. This is already in the works, by the way, and this is where we're headed naturally. And what I said post that is obviously what's going to then happen, because this always happens, right? We get to the efficiency discussion. We start talking about, well, is it morally good to bring a woman into this world? So what happens if we remove women from the equation? Or let's talk about what all the things that women bring to the table, for instance. We just watched a woman defend her rapist and say that he doesn't belong in jail, whereas I think that the man who raped her, if that story is real, actually belongs dead. She, however, does not think so. So keep that in mind. Keep in mind all the females in power who have led to the current infestations. Keep all of that in mind when we talk about these things. So I said that women are basically a liability. They have no purpose other than breeding. And that's true. If we just take a look at biological components, I need everybody to remove the concept of, oh, life is more than just breeding and dying. Take away the faith conversation, take away the fun, take away the philosophical, the educational. And we're going to talk about ourselves briefly as just meat bags at the end of the day. I'm going to talk about, of course, the only known things for sure. How you feel in your heart is not viable to this conversation. I'm setting that up because I know that there's some people who will, of course, want to say, oh, no, faith is the reason. No, we're not having that kind of philosophical discussion right now. So, what are women? A liability. How do I know this? I'm a woman. No matter what, even if I get swole, Even if I bulk up, I will always be weaker than an average man. It's slippery slope time on the Savvy Show. Yay! Ooh. Be nihilistic for a moment. I don't know. No, realistic. Realistic is the way. We're min-maxing women. So, women are a liability. We are weaker. We are smaller. We are not as ready for emotional turmoil or hard times. This is a biological fact, right? Women respond to stimuli and situations differently than men. If in a world where we get to the point, to the artificial womb, why would you want to continue to make women who need to take time off from something due to the pain that they feel? If they're no longer giving birth, yes, you could just make everyone infertile to avoid the menstrual cycle. You could do that, but now that fucks with people. And then at that point, why would you bother having women at all if you're already looking to cure certain things that they have to deal with? Our bodies, quote unquote, are a, ritualistic sacrifice to prepare for the next generation from the moment that we are born. So, why the fuck would it ever be smart to have a liability that is emotional, that has monthly problems, that has its own unique health problems? Why would you want that when you could just streamline everything and then you choose only males to be born? This kind of thing is already happening. If you think Elon Musk is just like naturally having just sons, no, he's not. He's choosing sons, which means he's getting rid of the females. Right? I would just make a fembot. See? Why would you give birth to women when you could construct them to suit you? The pleasure that you chase is actually absolutely not reliant on a woman's presence. This is one of the reasons why the troons actually get really excited, because they know at some point in their little fantasy that it will come to a point where females are technically obsolete. The artificial womb future creates that. Now, that doesn't mean people are going to choose the troons, the delusional fucks that they are. But what it means is that women, no matter what, will lose. And it's crazy. It's crazy how all of that works biologically. So obviously, where do we go from there? Well, we're left with literally the only choice, and the thing that I keep screaming from high heavens about. Remove women's ability to fucking vote. They cannot govern themselves. Fucking worthless creatures. Absolutely worthless we are. We need a little bit of guidance. We need men to be able to we need men, the good men, to be able to do good men things against the bad men who would hide behind the woman. The good man will never attack the woman, regardless of how she is. No matter how evil she is, a good man will not attack a woman. Because that's what he was raised to do. So the bad man will hide behind the woman. That's why we have all the problems that we do. This is why I keep saying most of our problems would be solved if women just couldn't vote. Because then the bad men could no longer manipulate the women. That's the way it goes. Honor Chef, thanks so much for the tippy. What is a woman, though? I mean, a man is a miserable pile of secrets. Word of Dracula. But what would that make women? A poison. A sweet and wonderful poison. Why have either? Just create genderless drones. Well, exactly. That will be the next one. Once we move beyond the artificial womb, and then we figure out how to just make the cells grow, right? That'll kind of basically be where we're at. And that's really sad. But without the form of woman, what will femboys strive to be? Well, there'll be no more femboys. Exactly. Whole reason why I prefer 2D Animu girls over 3D pig flesh beasts, for they are superior unless like savvy. No, I agree. I definitely prefer 2D over 3D. I have my entire life. Oh, man. Why are women crazy the hotter they are? That is a misconception. You're only willing to find out how crazy the hot woman is because she's hot. You don't stick around to tolerate the ugly woman who is crazy. I assure you, both are crazy in their own ways, and a lot of times the ugly woman is a little bit crazier. It's a point, however, if we start getting good at genetic engineering and cybernetics, we may stabilize it as a choice, especially once we start colonizing planets. Our species will definitely not live that long. Women might be more reliable. Not in the slightest, actually. Women will be even less reliable in that regard because, again, we come with our own problems. And those problems really aren't worth dealing with. All right. For all the problems that men will have to go through, women unfortunately go through something different that is less desirable to deal with. I think that male problems equally as bad, but are easier to deal with. Ours are tied directly to our hormones. And so because of the menstrual cycle, we are not reliable in the long run. In my experience, the hotter they are, the crazier they are. Again, you stuck around for it. You stuck around for the crazy. Grippy socks. Now, I believe 3D Savvy is better than 2D. 3D Savvy appears on Tuesday Night Main Event while 2D always leaves. I'm sorry. Oh, that's why one night stands are a thing. Yeah. But yeah, so this is going to be an interesting thing that happens in the near future. I know that there was a big, huge fucking post that everybody was up in arms about over eugenics a couple of weeks ago. I didn't really say anything because I thought it was really funny. Just what people were saying. I don't know. It's just funny. No, eugenics is very much so alive and well. And every single human being actually practices a form of eugenics because it's basically just selective breeding. So if you have a preference, congratulations. You're part of the problem, apparently. And yes, actually, choosing your mate for a specific set of traits, which every single person does, is selective breeding. I don't know how else to get that around to other people. But of course, that instance was, that conversation wasn't necessarily just about eugenics. But what I'm talking about, of course, is the response that people were against the eugenics. No, you're not. Nobody is actually against eugenics. Truly. If you can make a species healthier, you would do that. If there was a way that you could do that, I'm sure you would because it's far kinder to do that. Now, obviously, the methodology people can have issue with, but eugenics as a whole, people do not. Asian women, I'm into eugenics. See, there you go. Anybody who's got preference, all right, is technically evil in accordance to those things. Leftoids love eugenics and the mustache man until they got a software update. But they still do. They still love the mustache man. They just refuse to admit it. They don't see that. And it's very funny. It's all very, very funny. I do not take the easy path and turn people into tools. My control tools need solar cells. Men have hormone problems too when they get older. Yes, they do. It is much like menopause. Well, hot and cold, emotional, grouchy. It's not all perfect. That's different. Yeah. So that what you're talking about, though, is different. A woman post-menopause obviously is no longer now having issues. But my point is that a man in his 20s can work every single day if he's healthy. A woman in her 20s is still in her, not necessarily peak. I think it peaks earlier in the 20s. Not peak fertility, but there might be days that due to her uncontrollable but necessary biological functioning, she may not be able to perform as adequately. Now, there is actually, this is a really fascinating thing. A lot of women want to complain and stuff, but there's actually a higher amount of readiness and awareness in a woman, I think, in the first few days of menstruating. And then I think in the days prior or after, I can't remember. But a woman is also actually less active during a certain portion of it as well. These are points that you can define. These are statistical averages. Science sees this. My point being, a man can work consistently every single day, whereas a woman, through no fault of her own, will have things affected by what her body needs to do. So again, why would you put somebody through that? That's just the most. How many women, for instance, have you heard in their teens and their 20s? I'm talking about young, not 30s, 40s, 50s, 60s. Whatever. I'm saying young. How many times have you heard a woman say, man, I wish I didn't have to, have my monthly. Man, I went on this pill to stop me from having it every month. Now I only have it every 3 months. That's sad. That's fucking sad. A low T, exactly, too. A low T man can be easily fixed, whereas a woman with hormonal issues, not so easy, right? Low T man is even easier to deal with than a woman who unfortunately is a slave to her body. if she has very bad cramps. And like I said, that varies. And you could say, well, why wouldn't we just take care of that then? Why wouldn't we keep, well, we already have been trying to, and the pills that we have are ineffective, and they're making women suicidal. They're also causing health problems. And if we don't let a body be a body, then there's fucking problems, right? We're causing more problems when we try to deny our biology. Honor Chef, thank you so much for the tibby. Savvy, I think you underestimate the power of women nagging here. Men won't bother removing women unless a woman nags them until they do it. Well, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm just kidding. Or the amount of call-outs from work by female coworkers. By this point in our society, of course, we're talking fully hypothetical. But like once we get to the point where we're actually like we have the wombs in the breeder facilities, I don't think there's gonna have to be a worry about work per se, because the robots will be doing most of it, I guess. I don't know. I would hope game studios would still like things like that will I think still be run by people, but I don't know. Madam Savvy, have you done your daily push-ups? I haven't. I have not. But the day is not over. No, I bet I was a bad girl too. I didn't do any yesterday. But I'm going to hop on the rower after this, once my edible wears off. I decided to delight myself with a bit of root beer, and so I thought, oh, it'll be fun to go live. I'd love to rant about the spicy, slippery slope. I want to make all the jokes. Ooh, this is a very spicy one. Roll like yours? Hell yeah. A woman with hormonal issues, isn't that just a woman? Exactly. See, we make all these jokes, but in this context and in this world that will be created, these are serious discussions that we will have to consider. There may come a time when, my daughter may not have, may have to choose. Oh, is it even worth having a daughter, or should I just, go for sons at that point? Like, is there any reason to bring a woman into this world? And I think that that's sad. That's tragic. I don't want that, by the way. I don't actually want that world. I'd like a world that balances technological advances with still appreciating the biological component. But that requires a certain degree of enlightenment. That requires a firm hand. A very firm hand, both against women and, of course, the companies. And I'm not too sure how to do that without, the convictions of others. Because you need others to be willing to take up arms. And nobody's willing to take up arms right now, so... 1992 Space Movie, thanks so much for continuing your membership. You still need that tablet arm? I think you might need to check it. Oh, bless you. You're an angel. Let's go take a look here. What do you mean? What do you mean? Holy shit. Everybody, but most importantly me, say thank you, 1992 Space Movie, for your fucking generosity. Holy fuck, I will consider this an early birthday present, you fucking angel. You absolute saint. You viciously kind person. The fuck is wrong with you? You're crazy. Thank you, though. No, seriously. Thank you. I was going to take today's tip quantity or whatever it was. I don't know why it only says one, because I thought I received a few more than one. Wait, what happened? Why isn't the tip goal? Yeah, I definitely hit the tip goal already. Is it? Oh, it's literally just counting teal. It's not actually counting the other ones. I don't know. That's weird. Anyway, no, thank you, though. I was going to put that money towards it because I kind of wanted it for my birthday. But thank you so much. No, I really appreciate it. This is very, very kind of you. Wow. Do I have any fun plans for your upcoming birthday? This is going to sound very funny, but no, actually, nothing's really happening on or the weekend of my birthday because my parents have to go up to Canada. And then we have been like slowly bouncing the idea of going somewhere. But anytime that we have tried to plan going somewhere for specifically my birthday, the last few years, 1 year I broke my foot. The other year, I think 2 years around that, I was sick. And so we've had to cancel trips every fucking time. So part of me is just like, because the universe is very silly to me, I don't want to plan a trip. So we're going to go out to eat. I'm going to stream. And then I have follow-up stuff with my family. And then after successfully making it through my birthday without a broken bone, then maybe we'll go somewhere. Terrible. Oh, man. But yeah, so I'll stream on my birthday for sure. We might do Pal World, which I think I've done before on my birthday. So that's sort of becoming a tradition. But yeah. I'll be spending it with you guys a bit. You just got paid and I thought I would toss a coin to the stinky maiden of eyes of hazel. Bless you. They're green, not hazel. They're green. They're green. But thank you. No, I do greatly appreciate it. Oh my God. This is going to be very exciting because now I can swing that tablet over onto my lap with this, hopefully. This should all work out. It's the only one that I found that was like a good enough price, that was heavy duty enough, that would work on the desk. So I would have, excuse me, my God. I would have used the other one that I had, but that one goes to an old Wacom and it's specifically for Wacom. And then the arm itself is, it's not the arm, the connector is off kilter, and it's been like that since the day I got it. So it was always at an angle, which made it very lame. That's the only reason why I wanted a new one, but yeah. Did I see what, yes. We saw what was happening in Spain and we talked about it for a bit. Will our tall German husband be installed as dictator mod on your Pal World server? He really likes the idea of that. Really does. I loved your stance on the whole Miyatsu thing, so I decided to support you. Keep on being you and sharing actually reasonable stances on the internet. Bless you! Thank you so much. At times, I can be a little bit silly. Silly in terms of extremist and like sounding like Lysander from Pokemon, but I assure you I'm harmless for the most part. Thank you, though. I always feel the need to apologize for my posts. I do. I just assume they're too spicy for people. I don't know. I'd like to think that I'm pretty lukewarm, to be honest. I feel like I'm really lukewarm, like if I'm being honest. What did you miss? Oh, God. I kind of went on a couple of rants. Whew. Ooh, it's so bad. It's so bad. Women need the people who have authority over them to teach them. It's true. Some people look at that and say, what do you mean? Me? But no, like I function best with a slightly guiding hand. That isn't to say that I'm inept or immature. It's just sometimes the way I read a situation would be maybe a little bit too emotional, right? I didn't look through and only after the fact did I see the logical aspect of it. I try to be self-aware, but I'm still a woman at my core. I know my shortcomings. And so, you know, I just wish that more did that. Unfortunately, there is a large amount of medicated women in America because that's what happens in first world nations with propaganda. It's happening everywhere. And it's they just can't self-govern. They just can't. It's okay to stumble and fall. It really is. But when you keep doing it repeatedly and then blaming somebody else for your own misfortune, that's the problematic part. Hey, Pal World has some enhanced female pal mods. Isn't that cool? There's some other ones too. I have never installed a naughty mod into Pal World. I don't know if I ever will, but they're fun to look at. They are. I do have fun with them. I like looking at this stuff. There's a couple of them that add tits to things that don't have tits, and that's funny to me. That's very funny to me. What do we got here? So this is, I guess, just to keep railing on the commies, because we all love to rail on the commies. Today, I learned that Hassan Piker's interviews are researched behind the scenes by Eric Hovagim, a socialist producer who now lives in China and has been featured by Chinese state media for his pro-Beijing commentary. Shout out to Periphery Podcast and Noah Fears for this lovely bit. But we're going to listen to here first.
I was fortunate enough to work on a few of these videos, and much like the 100,000 or so New Yorkers who volunteered for the campaign, it felt incredible to be, albeit a small part, of such a powerful movement. I decided to move to China.
This guy works as a producer for Hassan Piker.
Like, as a dude, I feel sorry for the Uyghurs being used as a pawn by the CIA to foment unrest. I feel bad for the people of Taiwan who overwhelmingly do not want to be independent.
This is Hassan's editor.
Specifically came on the podcast because I saw that y'all was in Hassan's orbit, and I was like, I have to clout chase.
Absolutely.
Right. And we'll get you there.
No, that's fair.
Thanks.
We have him on speed time.
Well, to be
do.
fair, I did meet his producer in China.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
I want y'all
Look at my song.
like me. I did meet his producer in China.
Yeah.
Oh my god, Marge.
Yeah.
No, Eric, the interview
His producer is Mark.
His interview producer. Come on, you don't know all these people. You don't. You
Middle
ain't
of
tapped
a
in with
Hassan
him like
Dix-
me.
Yeah.
You ain't tapped into someone I've never met.
Yeah.
Like me.
No, it's true. It's true.
Brother,
To work on a
he chose to edit this. Hassan is going to be the first American live streamer to probably get arrested for literal fucking terroristic propaganda and links to communist propaganda. I hope to God this happens because what the fuck? What the fuck? Yeah, no, this is like actual literal treason bullshit. Like, he is connected to so many problems. And just like on smaller scales, when I do research into the DEI stuff, if you're connected to one, you're connected to more. And guess what? The shit keeps following him. The shit stain has leaked through the underwear, and it's right there on the pants, and it's leaking through the pants and onto the fucking jacket. We can see it. The U.S. defines treason incredibly narrowly. I know. We need to broaden that. Hassan has been doing and saying so much for so long, and I don't believe anything will happen to him. I think things will finally happen to him. He's finally got big enough to be able to expose the network. It is in his genes. It is. The poop is in his genes. It's like the Taco Bell lettuce. It is. He is the lettuce. But no, I really think something's going to happen soon because, like, what the fuck? What do you mean he moved to China? How come Hassan hasn't moved? Like, go away, go to China. You know what? After seeing that, I don't even want to fucking... Hassan here just says, I'm literally the poster boy for American excellence, for the American dream. Come from a relatively well-off immigrant family background. Okay, their finances are tattered by the time I got to college, but it doesn't matter because I was basically won the fucking lottery. Like, yeah, you did win the lottery. Your parents have always been rich. You are literally a shit-eating, inbred piece of filth. You fucking shaved your face and now you look fucking retarded. There are some people who absolutely need beards, and I'm sorry, Hassan, you are actually one of them. Like, you as a smooth fucking baby face, you look embarrassing, especially with the jacket. He looks too much like Nick Fuentes. If you sat them side by side, you know what? Here, I'm gonna fucking show you. They literally, he looks like Nick fucking Fuentes. Does he go big? He does. Of course he does, because he's egotistical. Where's a picture of fucking Fuentes? And I feel bad that I'm comparing him to, like, he's literally just Fuentes. Nick Fuentes. I like Fuentes' last name. I have a lot of fun with it. Where's him in a pale suit? I don't know if he even wears pale suits. Does he consider pale suits feminine? I would. Where is he? Here we go. Copy, image, address. Hang on. Wait. Actually, no. I'm going to do a side-by-side. I'll go a step further. How do I do this? Where's my fucking shit? All right. Control, new. There we go. I'll just do here. And then I move this over. Hang on. It'll be worth it here in a second, guys. I promise.
I mean, other people.
Fuck! I need him facing forward, making a face. Hang on. Where is it? Let's see if we can get. Let's see if I can get the same expression. He's bound to make it. Oh my god, he looks so effeminate. Like, what is wrong with him? The glasses are not helping. None of this is working. I don't want to hear you. Make a. There we go. There we go. Perfect. What a terrible thing. Women fucking thirst trap this guy. Like, filthy, disgusting, armpit-haired having women who are literally the filthiest and most unbreedable pieces of shit you've ever seen. Everything! Oh my god, now that I've done this, it's even worse. Oh my god, you guys are gonna have a laugh. Look at this friendly person. So friendly. Copy image address. It's worth it. Hang on. He wants to be Fuentes so bad. He does not look like a fem. Don't you ever! Femboys put effort into their hips, their thighs, and their bellies. They make sure that their arms are toned enough to be narrow, but they don't really have to do anything else. Holy shit. Do not insult femboys by putting Hassan on their anatomical spectrum. Femboys, even with the work, still have to be of certain anatomical structure. They have to have a slightly larger head, so that way they have slightly larger eyes, so that way they look the cuteness that is the appealing aspect of the femboy. Hassan lacks that anatomical blessing. He has a tiny head, disgusting looking eyes, and on top of that, his fucking baby face is the most atrocious inbred kind. Femboys aren't traditionally inbred because for the most part, femboys are fucking white guys from conservative states who got bullied into it or some shit. Whatever, all right? I've never really seen a Turkish femboy, all right? That doesn't fucking exist. Hassan literally cannot and will never be, nor could he produce a femboy. He wishes he fit in nicely into a desirable category amongst people, but this small-headed inbred freak is just trying to fucking leech off of somebody else's image, which is why he's never come up with his own, and the only time that he did sort of have his own, it was still a parody of something else, because he was busy focusing on if people were old enough to count, old enough to mount shit. And he was still fat! Hassan is Brian Griffin as a human. Brian Griffin, though, eventually learns lessons, doesn't he? Hassan has never learned a single lesson. People like him have never had an original thought. No, he's just a terrorist simp. Zabby doesn't know about the pleasure boys. Stay innocent. No, pleasure boys are different. That's completely different. If their child rape shit, that's so different from a femboy. I get it, all right? For some reason, the Middle East and Africa and the Islam fucking religion practice this thing where they it's like the bocce, I don't know. Anyway, they make young boys, and this is still going on today and celebrated in Africa and the Middle East and Turkey and all these fucking crazy places. Basically, his culture, it uses young boys and makes them move like women so that way they can rape them, because raping a boy is still cleaner than having sex with a woman out of marriage. And so for some reason that's just okay to them. I don't know why. I don't know. I think that's barbaric, and if this was 200 years ago, those countries would be invaded so that way the boys could be liberated and saved, but that's not what happens. So don't forget the flower boys in Tibet. We could literally go through and talk about how little boys all over the world in lesser cultures have been treated. Unfortunately, the leftists don't actually give a shit about people suffering. So they'd rather import the adults who believe in the practice of raping little boys instead of saving the little boys and raising them to be good people and, Yeah. Oh, yeah. And animals. What? Basically, Hassan just comes from a part of the world that's very barbaric. The hierarchy of no-no-acts, an enlightened culture. It's true. It's a very tragic thing, though, no? It's a very tragic thing. But yeah, so leftists never cared because it never affects them until it does. Well, even when it affects them, because we just had a leftist woman say that, she claimed that she got raped and then she wants her rapist on the street. It has nothing to do with affecting them. Even if their significant other gets stabbed, so long as the person's brown enough, the leftist won't mind. Oh, you need to stab my significant other who I've known for 5 years. And plan to marry. That's okay, poor brown person. You don't know the difference. That's a leftist. The leftist says that the brown person is too stupid to know that stabbing somebody is wrong. That's insane. That's fucking, do you know, like that's fucking, to let a person out of prison because they're too stupid to understand why they're there, just put them down. If somebody is genuinely too stupid to understand what they're doing, put them down. There's no purpose to them. If they're too stupid to know that you shouldn't rape and you shouldn't stab, then they're too stupid for society, and for that reason, should be put down. So yes, I will unapologetically say those things. I totally enjoyed watching your avatar say that. I should put my avatar in a suit, or give it a tie or something. Be funny. I need to finish up the doodle that I did on the new avatar because it's cute. It's funny that Hassan, who was born with everything given to him, uses that advantage to make things worse for everyone else. Many such cases, unfortunately. It's true. But yeah. Anyway, I hope this guy stops LARPing and gets his own fucking identity soon. Does he not know that this hairstyle went out years ago? I don't know what's happening. 2D Savvy will wear the tie like a headband. Yes. Office-themed outfit would go hard. Still no pants, though. Still no pants, just the shorts and the orange socks. I think that would, you know what? I think I gotta switch it up. I gotta draw a new outfit now. I gotta change up the hair too. I gotta make it more wild. Oh man. Office Lady Savvy, HR Lady Savvy. We'll go back to our original branding. Here's by the way, somebody just proof that we did talk about it. It was the very first tab and whatnot. I wonder what the updates are. What do we got? What do we got? What are some updates? 13 hours ago, insane footage 4 hours ago, 9 hours ago, 2 hours ago. Scrolling this is a little bit dangerous, isn't it? Actually, let's go see if this guy's got any updates. He's usually pretty good. Holy crap. Third world migrants are now yelling Allahu Akbar while invading Melilla, Spain tonight. Yet another Spanish border overrun by barbarians. Spain is about to see a spike in crime. Yes, they are. See, that to me is a declaration of intent from them. And so I, like me, if I had control of the military, well, if I had control of the military, they would have been nuked in the water. But if I was there, you know, I'd be instructing the snipers to get ready, and the person with the highest fucking kill count gets to sleep with the Chillet plushie that night. Definitely a John Wick style savvy avatar. Oh my god. Can't believe Fetterman put on a suit. When did he put on a suit? HR Savvy, ma'am. This is 1950s coded office. That skirt is 4 inches too long. She. Why? You have to use powerful extermination techniques on parasites. There are a couple of ways that you can do it. I personally don't care about the suffering of others. I do believe that there are ways that we can actually deal with this swiftly that also sends a message. Unfortunately, I'm not in power, so I have to sit back and just be here and armchair it and make my silly threats and sound like an animu villain. Oh, to be so self-aware. What is this? Elon Musk says the third world fucking parasites will destroy Spain's entire national budget. Yes, it's basic math. If Spain offers free stuff to migrants that is above 90% of the living standards of Earth, they create a forcing function for 90% of Earth to move to Spain, which is around 7 billion people. Yes, if Spain rewards them, more people will go. If somebody's going to have open borders, someone else is going to take advantage of it. The heavy flame and warfare. Yes, flamethrowers. Thank you. Chainsaws. Very fun. Gets you up close. My personal favorite weapon in Doom. Perhaps we could have our tall German husband get some political power so you can implement what you want, Madam Savvy. No, he has no desire to pursue politics whatsoever. My husband is very much so the opposite of me in regards to, like, you know, like when he's done with work, he relaxes with a video game. And then he, like, you know, makes fun of leftists or whatever and watches Trump's speech and he's all happy. And that's him. Me, no. Then you get over to me and I'm sitting here like, we need to storm the gates of the political offices. We must raise up our swords and don our armor. There can be no mercy for the tyrants and the rapists. We must end the globalization that is the WEF agenda. You know, like there's that, like the big difference. Hassan tried to defend this by saying Spain was once a part of Turkey, the Ottoman Empire conquering. Okay, so we need to go into Morocco and just nuke it. And then we need to go into Turkey, and then we need to nuke it, and then we need to go to all of these other noisy-ass places, and we just need to nuke them, you know? Spain is going to become a glowing red once they get their bull together. Yeah, you know, I don't know. Don the swords. Don the armor. Pick up the sword. Morocco is pretty nice. Okay, But, like, then why are so many people trying to leave, you know? Like, if Morocco's nice, why the fuck? So clearly Morocco's not nice. So we need to level it and start over. So what you're saying is that Hassan owes Spain reparations. Yes. Yes, I think that actually, I do believe in reparations. I have always believed in them, to be quite honest. But I believe I'm the one who should be getting paid for the suffering that I've had to endure. And I think that there's a lot of people who deserve to get paid. But it's not the Africans. I think the white man desperately needs to send a bill to someone. Because we've had a lot of fucking damage caused by people. Now, we could settle this bill by sending the genetic failures of the spawn back to the home country. But, you know, again, nobody wants to fucking entertain that. I swear to God, there'll be an extremist in office soon, right? Everybody who bitches about reparations, I swear to God, just, yeah, here, you know what? Just here, come into the shipping container. Just right over here, and you can collect your reparations. And then send them back. Send them the fuck back. Psychotic Mongoose, holy shit, thank you so much for your generosity and being a bush giver. Holy shit. And lucky Cyberchud. Cyberchud received it. Please enjoy your healthy-looking bush. There's also a fancy new parasite in there. I need to make a better parasite emote. I don't want to make it cute, though. You want to return some farming equipment? Yes. I just got that after reading it. It's terrible. That's a funny one. See, these are the funny things that... That's a good one. I'm sorry. That was... Wow, I was delayed on that. That's so bad. Shipping container, spray painted, free reparations and luxury would be hilarious. Exactly. Like, I'm sorry that some people do fall on hard times. It's true. But my capacity to care just is at an all-time low because of the fatigue that I have. So once we solve a couple problems, I'll go back to caring. But until then... what is this? Here we go. We'll just look at his. I guess we're accidentally looking at Eric's feed here. I just happened to scroll down and I was like, oh, what's this? Rep Andy. Oh. Can people just have names that I don't feel embarrassed reading? It says John Thune should resign as Senate lead if he can't approve the Save America Act. It's time for a new leader in the Senate. John Thune needs to use the talking filibuster and force Democrats to explain why they oppose common sense voter ID. If he refuses, he should resign. I don't understand any of this. I don't understand Thune. I don't understand Republicans. I don't understand anybody in our Senate. I don't understand anybody in our Congress. I don't understand really any politician. I hate them all, and I still want them all to go. It's just a collective. The guy next to Elon looks like he's a 14-year vet in soccer. A little bit, yeah. John Deere is great, but man, they're expensive. John Deere's all right. All right. We had a John Deere tractor that I used to mow the lawn with. When I say we, I meant my parents. That was an old memory there. Holy shit. But basically, back when I could be in the sun, I actually enjoyed mowing the lawn. It was a good time. I didn't mind it so much. I wouldn't want to do it every day for the next 20 years, obviously, or every week for the next 20 years. But like when I did it, it was fine. You know, they all have APAC guys. Yeah, I shut down the foreign money. If any single politician is speaking so positively about a foreign nation, like. I think people would be uncomfortable by how I feel about Japan if I were a politician. But even then, despite me constantly praising Japan, there's no part of me that says like, oh yeah, we should just like give aid to Japan. I think, honestly, I think we should do the opposite and like force BlackRock, Blackstone, and some of the other nefarious companies out of Japan, and apologize. I do think that we should like write them a letter and say sorry. I do believe that, but like, I'm not sitting there saying, yeah, Japan's our greatest ally and we got to go to war for them. Well, that's actually not true. I have said that. But you know what I mean, right? Like not in the Israel got to go touch the wall way. Okay, well, that's not true either because I touched my own wall in Japan by going to the doujinshi stores. Fuck, this is a terrible analogy. The point being, I'm not trying to send billions of dollars to Japan. I'm just trying to tear down the fucking censorship. That's it. Fuck. We should definitely sell our toys at at friendly prices to Japan. See, yes, we should have a healthy and mutual, respectful relationship with our allies. Japan is the only one who's fucking good. Now I can't unhear the word wall anymore thanks to you. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Israel is an imposing nation, really. Oh, yes, yes. I touched my own wall is quite the euphemism. It's true. It's true. Except that wall actually, like, physically means something to me. I mean, that's a really good analogy. You know what? Can I just take a moment and bask? Can everybody just clap for a moment? That was a beautiful, thoughtless set of words that I just said. The self-awareness is truly incredible here. And I'm just so happy. Thank you. Please clap. Please clap. Please clap. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Please clap. I want to see 210 clappers in chat. Thank you very much. All of the lurkers, please clap. I'm sorry. Got a fucking retarded. You know what's funny? The edible wore off, so I can actually think. Oh, that's terrible. That's terrible. Ugh. Yeah, we hit the wall and Israel fell out. Jesus Christ. Please clap, Savvy and Bush Chub. Clapping what? Just clap. Just clap. Just clap. And one more for the representation. Hell yeah. I want to see a full DEI wave of clappery there. All right. You know what? I'm going to make a please clap emote. We'll do that. Oh no, the thinking is back. Don't worry, I promise I won't do it. I'm surprised it hasn't gotten me into more trouble over the years. I'm a very thoughtless person when I speak. I generally just kind of, you know, word vomit. Oh, man. Anyway, I think that's, Oh, Honor Sharp, thank you for the tippy. I'm so glad I scrolled back up. I was like, there's something I'm missing. Where does one find the disgusting Pal World Booba mods and other such filth so I can avoid them, of course? I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't know where the good place is to download shit anymore outside of, like, Lover's Lab. I don't, yeah, you know. Yeah, you know. Reminds me of the one fat guy politician that tried to make a joke during the debate, but it was so bad. It's so good. So look at that. Look at that beautiful DEI approved rainbow of hands. Not actually really a rainbow, but you know, it's what they'd call it. Eliani, thank you so much for the tippy. Yesterday I learned that IQ is affected by evolutionary pressure that selects for a more robust immune system. Resources get diverted from cognitive function. West Africa explained. Hold up. Where did you... IQ affected by immune system? Honor Sharp, thank you for the tippy. Just DM'd you a pic. It didn't come out right, but you might still like it. Ooh. Ew. I'm excited. What website is that, X? I gotta go to X. Gotta go to Twitter. Let's go to my chat. Ah. Ooh. Oh, isn't that fun? Is that not fun? I like the idea of it. Is that with Grok? Yeah, so Grok is not the best. You gotta use Novel AI for all your Animu needs. I'm about to, like, unequivocally out myself here. So I use Novel AI to get some inspiration from the image gen every so often, but their anime stuff is 1,000 times better, and it actually does, like, copyright protected characters. Wang sort of works, but not really, but they're going to be updating their tag system soon. They haven't for over a year, and it's been really annoying because I can't make anything with Varco without using, like, the precise referencing tool, which is really good, by the way, and then that perfects Wang. Their tools are just literally unrivaled in terms of homegrown shit. If you run anything locally, then obviously this conversation is very different. But I can just tell by the style of it, it looks like Grok. Yeah, I was trying for Giant Wang, but he didn't do that. Yeah. So I understand. But yeah, no, I'll use Mage Space normally. Grok is for quick work. Oh my God, see, it looks like it just uses Grok then. I would switch over to Novel AI, but of course, if you're just looking for free, then obviously ignore me then. I don't know if the other one's any good. But yeah, so I use it for like color inspiration and then like testing shit. And then sometimes I put my own artwork into it just to see like other variations, but it's all for like just personal use. But you know, it's just what do you like? You can't sit there and then tell me, the person who's obsessed with all the naughty, that I have this tool that I only have to pay a small amount of money for every so often when I get fucking bored. You're gonna tell me that I shouldn't use something that's going to make uncensored yaoi for me of any character, and then I can just replace one character with another if I want to fucking. You're gonna like. What dumb fuck thinks I'm gonna limit myself? No, the tool exists. I'm going to use it. Okay? I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna get inspired by it, and I'm gonna fucking. I'm gonna enjoy it, you know? I'm gonna enjoy it. You're learning a lot from us. Good. Grok lost his wang. Now he can't make anything right. It's true. You know, Grok tried to tell me the other day, we're in the middle of this fucking drugging story, and then it's like he's already drugged Sycamore like 10 times. And he's done terrible things to him within the story. But apparently using a specific drug was too fucking far. When I was like, oh, make up a drug to drug him with. Like, he's, like, I tell it, okay, like, he doesn't want to take the drug, right? Like, you know this. You've already done the non-consensual. And then it's like, you know, a few fucking posts later, I'm like, okay, now we're going to use this drug because it's more interesting. And I've come up with these compounds. And this is fantastic and how they interact. And it's going to be a detriment to this individual. And it's going to be very funny. And no, Grok is like, no, I can't do that. I'm like, the fuck you can. So I switch it from expert to fast, and then it did it. Did you know that if you Google Grok, the search engine whines about it and suggests you use their chat for better results? Fuck yeah. But yeah, so like for me, AI is just not safe for work playgrounds. That's it. I see no value in it for anything else. People are putting them on their computers as assistants and giving them access to their files, and then their files get deleted. No, I don't want to do that. I can't even have Grok give me relevant fucking information again anymore. It's so much faster for me to just do everything myself. And when it types something up, I'm like, no, you have to do it differently. No, stop writing like that. No, this, that. Like, I have so much of like what I don't like in writing and the way information is presented because of Grok. Like, I've learned even more things. I'm like, wow, your presentation of this information is fucking retarded. Fuck. But yeah, so the only way too that the AIs, the machine learnings even remain profitable is by engaging with not safe for work. So, you know, at the end of the day, the Gooner dollar is still top tier. Micromanager savvy, dude, I am a control freak and I can't even let an AI do something. Even when I use Suno, I will sit there and I'll just be like, why the fuck aren't you changing it? I don't want you to do this. Why are you making the same fucking vocal inflection mistake as you've done before? It's not even part of this project. You're doing it on another one. All because I used the initial foundations of it to build up this song. So now you gotta fucking, I want this word, but you're saying it wrong. Holy fuck, like I'm so, AI, I tell you what. Ayani, thank you so much for the tip. I highly recommend RFab. Leaf It works with them. I'll have to let me look up RFab too. There's a bunch of them that I do need to go look at because there are some new ones. I tried using Seed Dance, the one from China. It wasn't as impressive as people tried to make it out to be, and literally through Novel AI and what's the other one everybody uses? Midjourney. Holy fuck. Midjourney, you can create more than enough in terms of animation and the various scenes that you need. Now, I highly recommend using Novel AI. I'm not sponsored by them. I don't think I've ever even really talked about them or publicly interacted with them. But I do believe that their character reader, their vibe thing, you get more consistent output with Novel AI than you do with Midjourney. But the thing that I would advise people to do for animation, and this is going to be a little annoying and it requires a little bit of learning, if you want to go a step further to make things look better, what you should do is extract every element. So just generate the person and then stick it into an extractor if you need to make it transparent. And then generate the background. And then what you do is you create basically a composite where you blend things together in something else. So that way you have maximum control, because AI doesn't understand lighting, and so it makes it all very obvious too. If you want to give yourself that animated look, you got to just do a little bit of work there. RFAB has a most based chat. That's how I learned more about the. Oh yeah, that's right, and I looked that up. So hang on, we're gonna see what that research indicates. Infections can, well, no, we know that. Hang on. IQ affected. Lower IQ might mean higher immune efficiency, I guess? I just want to find infections can affect your IQ. Is it true that people with a high level of immunity tends to have lower intelligence? People not so well endowed with clean water, hygienic societies, I mean, people living in slums, etc., are constantly in contact with disease causing pathogens, and over time they develop good immune. In parallel, they're also, okay, well, there's that. No, I want to see the thing, though, about, I'm going to have to find it. I want to find that because that's really interesting. Did I say that word? Interesting. I don't know why it sounded funny to me. Infections may cause cognitive impairment. Lower IQ, new studies, and more infections, lower IQ. But I know what it is you're getting at. It's not experiencing the infections. It's a trade-off, cause and consequences. I want to look into this. I think that could be interesting. It's not, no. You're not trying to justify anything. We can never get to the root of a problem or understand something without asking questions. It's not a justification of stupidity. It's an explanation of biological functions. And I think it's a fascinating one to explore. Why does that happen? Why did the distribution happen? If we can explain these things, maybe we can prevent these things from happening in the future. Because if we can control for IQ, that means we can stop producing stupid at home, you know? That's what it is. Correlation is not causation, but it's an interesting rabbit hole to visit. Exactly. I'm wondering if it's not directly related through development, but I'd like to see the breeding records or whatever the heck they're looking at to see how they arrive to that conclusion. Because I think that there could be merit for it if that's the way things are distributing early on, right? And I think that something like that is truly incredible to consider. Because it does rear the idea then that your location, right, is going to be tied to external factors that are influencing your biology and your internal growth. And that's, I don't know. That's fascinating, right? The trade-off to prevent diseases or why sickle cell exists. It's like the peripheral companies charging more, just putting AI in the front of their name. Oh, yeah, and that's a funny one, too. In environments where food is plentiful, there is less selection pressure. Selection pressure is a fascinating thing, too. There's been, a lot of evolutionary stuff is driven by all of that, obviously. So I don't know. I mean, I'm really interested in that, and any explorations into like IQ distributions among populations, resource distribution. Honestly, just all of it's interesting. I think Elon is from the future. I think Elon is an interesting individual. Do I think he's from the future? No. I think he's just a very driven individual, and I admire that. I certainly do not have the drive and motivation that he does to get up every single day and do exceptionally hard work. I think very few people are as driven as he is. And I think that what he has is truly rare. It's different from normal motivated people. And I'm wondering if that hardiness actually comes from just always having every single eye on him now. Because there's not a single day of peace that he's ever had since being a mainstream figure, That like, personally, that would shut me down so hard. I would hate that. So, I don't know. It's an interesting one. Eliani, thank you so much for the tippy. Harsh winters in the north require building food storage, delayed gratification, forward planning, thus increasing cognitive functions. Exactly. There's a lot of things that are linked to this. There are, oh my God. There are some videos that I like to watch about people who live in like the coldest places on Earth. And it's amazing how they still choose to live there, even though they have the resources to move, but it's home for them. And so they talk about having to prepare for things, having to collect, snow and ice, and then how to melt the snow and ice, right? Obviously, snow melts faster, but if they have a bunch of ice, well, they gotta fucking melt that shit too. And like, the freezing of fish and food supplies. And then, the simple act of mailing something requires a lot of forward planning. And it's really, really cool to see how that perseverance and that sacrifice comes into play every single day for them. And then you compare that to other regions that are less developed, but experiencing, the extreme opposite, going from extreme cold to extreme heats. And knowing the detriments of both of them, I'm not too sure which one I personally would have. Probably the cold more than the heat. But it's just interesting to see how the two different societies, basically just react differently, right? He knows too much about depopulation and space travel. Well, depopulation is just common sense. You can just study a bunch of tits for that. Tits being the bird. I just wanted to say that. If you spend your younger years constantly fighting off infection, diseases, and viruses, it leaves less energy for brain and body growth. Yes, and that makes sense too. But what's being discussed here is the possibility that the potential for IQ and the potential for your birthed, immune status might be, chosen sooner versus necessarily getting sick. I think that's what the difference is. Obviously, it makes sense for what you're saying developmentally. If you're sick, then you lose, the body resources to develop properly. But what if those things were already being considered sooner, I think that's what the new data is looking at. It's not just looking at what happens to you. It's saying it might start sooner, that your IQ might be limited by that, if that makes sense. Most likely there's both factors at play: disease improving immune and harming development, but also selection pressure for stronger immune at expensive IQ. Exactly. And that makes the most sense too. But I'd like to see what they're claiming. I'd like to see the data that says that IQ and immune are linked even before you start getting sick and those things for the development process. But like before, I'd just like to read it. I think that's cool. I think all that's cool. Honor Sharp, thank you for the tippy. Elon is the clone of Werner Braun. Duh. Oh my God. That sounds like words. That sounds like words. I don't know. I love that kind of stuff. My focus in college was human immunology, but I did do quite a few zoological courses. So I did get to observe, obviously, more data relating to animals and things like that versus humans. But the human immunology-related courses at least gave me a pretty decent understanding of things. So I can usually get through research papers pretty easy. They're pretty interesting reads, whereas other people might find them rather dry. You live in Maine and the weather can change on a dime. What? Okay, everybody stop. I finally found somebody who lives in Maine. Do you live in a northern part of Maine? Don't tell me where you are. I'm not trying to dox you. Or do you live in like a southernish part of Maine? And if so, why? What's around you? Is it cool? I want to go up to Maine so fucking bad to see what's up. In our quest for potentially moving, I have wanted to look into places that are more me friendly, right? And so unfortunately that means moving maybe more north than south. I would die if I moved to Texas or Florida or Arizona. But I thought Maine's pretty up there. Maine is where all the white people are. You live in the southern part. What's there? Is that like family? Did you choose it? Like what's around you? Does Amazon work? Alaska's also a great choice. Unfortunately, a husband immediately ruled it out because they have the highest per capita amount of what serial killers or some shit. And I was like, well, that's fine. It'll be kill or be killed. It'll be cool. It'll be fine. You live in Alaska? That's so cool. Yeah. See, I'm sorry. I can't do that. Savvy becomes a Newfie. I was actually willing to move up to Newfoundland years ago. I was actually super, super, super on board with the idea of it. I had a friend who was at the time planning to open up a bar. And he said I could at least, come work up there. He was a streamer as well. We streamed. We had a whole group of people, and he was, going to employ a couple of others. It was just, a fantasy pipe dream. But I was actually, this is before I met my husband. So I was like super into it. I had the sun allergy. I even looked up like the areas around it. I'd been up there once. But, the long nights, that was very appealing to me for obvious reasons with the UV allergy. So I was totally on board with it. I'm glad it didn't happen, and I'm glad it didn't work out because I eventually stopped being friends with that group of people. It's just, people fall out or whatever. But it's not off my list, basically. Like, I'm willing to move somewhere, somewhere north. But Canada also is just a shithole. I would never now. Alaska's great internet. They catch fish with it. Oh, very fun. You thought northern Maine was Canada? I mean, it could be. So you're in the southern part. Hang on, wait, Derek, continue sharing. Derek is a man of few words. I thought Vampire Savvy was a meme. No, I am actually literally allergic to the UV radiation. I can't ever fake tan. I can't get my nails did with the UV shit. I can't go outside if there's a high UV index. This year, actually, for whatever reason, my allergy decided to be a cunt to me. And now I can't even drive. For some reason, it used to never affect me badly through glass. Glass blocks UVA and UVB, and the other one. But unfortunately, for some reason, when the sun is directly shining on me through glass, I end up reacting. And that didn't happen before, even when I first got the allergy. So that was scary. But yesterday, I did do a test. The UV index was a fucking 2, and I was able to sit outside for a little bit. I stayed out there for 10 minutes, and then when I came back in, I didn't have any rashing, which was interesting. But if I flexed my hand, because I only had one part of me exposed, I had this shooting soreness that went up my arm, and that happens. That happens pretty commonly. So what about the claws and the small animals? The harpy joke happened because I made a funny noise. And then for some reason, the bird thing just stuck. I don't know why. I do prefer traveling at night for obvious. Glass doesn't block UV well. No, it doesn't block it well, but it blocks it well enough. Drink orange juice, Savvy. Orange juice, you know what? I need to mask the taste of coconut. Would orange juice do that? Although I think orange juice has too much sugar. So I have I'm trying. So I basically mask the taste of my protein shit with coconut. But then the issue is it's too coconutty, so then I'm trying to mask the taste of the coconut. That or ginger ale. Interesting. Unsure, but worth a try. Yeah, better than nothing. But the sun fading on stuff near my windows is plenty of UV. It still gets. Oh, yeah. Of course it does. But also the light damage in general, Would you ever go to Okinawa, or is island weather too much? So when we were in Japan, I got super, super lucky. I don't know what happened. So when we went, it was the worst possible time to go. It was like peak heat, terrible, very bright for some reason. And before this as well, I did not react as strongly. It was only after coming back from Japan. I actually managed to walk around during the day and in sunlight. Only a couple times did I pop Benadryl, but the worst that happened to me outside of getting sick was that I was just twice as tired as like a normal person might be just for walking around, because I do get like the heat exhaustion symptoms, and then that soreness was there, but I could deal with that. And so we had initially had plans to go to, we wanted to see more of Japan, but then I got sick. There were a couple of like small things to go see, but yes, I would like to see all of Japan. There's nothing that I wouldn't want to see. We also decided, because of the climate of the way that things kind of are in some of the smaller small towns and cities in Japan, we just didn't, for our first trip, we just decided we didn't want to look like lost tourists. So we'll do that on the next one, and hopefully some of the relations have simmered, but I suspect that won't be the case. But either way, I'm glad someone got it. Uh-oh. Wait, what? Shake it all up. Wait, you know what you need? You need the lime and the coconut. Oh, this is a good one. Shake it all up. Move to Hokkaido. Do they have low sun? Low sun exposure. I do want to experience, like, I want to go see what Hokkaido looks like in the winter because I think winterscapes are beautiful and I've seen so many pictures. Like, I want to see it for myself, you know? Avoid summertime in Japan. August is the hottest month. Well, what's funny is because of the way things have been working, or like the way that the weather's been, September was so fucking bad. It was almost as bad as August, I think, actually. But the next time we go, I either want to go in fall or the winter time. For sure. For sure. Holy shit. But that's, you know what? I'm just staring at this one same screen. Let's see if he's got an update. Like, I'm just promoting this poor guy's fucking Twitter account. Not that he fucking needs promotion. Jesus Christ. Wait. Oh, that's right. He still hasn't blocked this account. Oh. Fine. Anyway. Let's see here. Just in, Italian PM Giorgia Meloni is pushing to close Europe's free travel zone off to Spain, the Schengen area, after hordes of third world savages, thank you, invaded Spain. It's like he can hear me. Spain is becoming a third world colony. Becoming? The rest of Europe is soon to follow if mass deportations are not carried out. It's true. It's true. Oh! Breaking into homes. It's just so tiring. It's just so fucking tiring. Can we please have a crusade? Well, the UK is already there. France is already Africa. Italy's pretty shit. Poland is somehow holding on, but barely. Breaking into homes and then do what? Like, what's the plan? That's his now. If he breaks in, that's just his, I guess. Explosions heard as third world invasion of Spain. I was literally about to, like, be done with stream, but, like, now it's, like, really picking up. The fireworks. Hopefully it's just fireworks, right? Because if it's bombs, that fucking sucks. Spain's borders must be like the rest of the world is watching this. And do you know what's crazy? The Republicans will still lose the fucking midterms. Poland shoots at their borders. It's not enough. Maine has constitutional. Okay, hold up. Does Maine have? Maine? Home defense laws. Does it have the castle doctrine? In Maine, you may use deadly force against a home intruder only if you reasonably believe it is necessary to prevent death, serious bodily injury, kidnapping, or sexual offense. As a woman, every single break-in is literally the assumption that I'm going to die. So yes, you have no duty to retreat inside your dwelling, but you must generally demand the intruder leave. Okay. Maine's castle doctrine. Allah Akbar, of course, it'll be explosions. That's true. Oh, this was written about in April 2026. There's a few situations more terrifying or intense, blah, blah, blah. Nearly all states in the U.S. have a law similar to Maine's. No, they don't. No, they don't. Shockingly. No, fuck off. However, under Maine's law, deadly force cannot be used against someone inside your own home until you've given them the opportunity to stop their criminal activity. Okay, well, that's usually a subjective exchange. By demanding they stop what they are doing and leave the premise. Okay. So literally, grab the crossbow, leave now! Using deadly force to defend your home is only justified if the intruder doesn't immediately comply with your demand, which they never do. With that said, you reasonably believe the blah blah blah, the castle doctrine, blah, and you're killing someone in self-defense is a life-changing event. Yes. Okay, thank you. What is Maine a red state? Is it? What is Maine? Maine is generally considered a blue state at the presidential level, having voted for the Democratic candidate in every election since 1992. However, it is often described as purple due to the significant conservative rule. Okay, so they are just ruled by the one city, because that's what I'm looking at. Recent trends, data from 2020 to early 2025 indicate a shift towards Republicans. Probably it's natural order, with GOP registrations rising by 7%, while Democrat registrations fell by 6%. Despite the rightward movement in many municipalities, I still butchered the word even though I tried to go slow. Democrats maintain a statewide registration advantage and control. Okay, so now let me see. Maine illegal migrant population. Hang on. Estimate of Maine's undocumented or unauthorized parasite population ranges from 5,000 to 10,000. How are you calculating that? So the group represents a small fraction from 4 to 5%. That's, still pretty high. Why isn't it 0? 60. What kind? What kind of illegal migrants are in Maine? Which ones? Which ones? Legal, blah. The majority, East African nations like Somalia. So that's a no-go. I don't want to live anywhere where there's fucking Somali filth. I'm not into those inbred parasitic fucking fraudsters. My state is blue because of cities too. I fucking hate it. Yep. We need to get the fuck out of this state so bad. What kind of an American are you? The one that just wants to be left the fuck alone. Somalia is sending money to Iranian ships. Yes, they are. Everything that's blue is because of the city. Yes, it's very true. Nobody's ever blue out of logic. It's always for some reason the city. New Hampshire is a mixed state, but not Maine, which has had huge crime problems. By the way, Sabby, since you visited Japan, what was your opinion on immigration? Did you get a chance to visit not tourist hotspots? Honestly, Tokyo is unfortunately a tourist hub for obvious reasons. That's pretty much where we stayed. But the things that we did and the things we saw was just literally everyday shit. We didn't try to go to if you're a tourist, you have to eat at this location. We went to holes in the wall. We went to places that even, I think even some people would be like, oh, what's that over there that doesn't look safe? Except it is, of course, because it's fucking Japan. We went to the convenience stores every morning for breakfast, along with this beautiful little breakfast spot that once we found the hotel that we really liked and decided to stay at, we went and had breakfast every morning at a place nearby. So I'd like to think that we did things that weren't touristy, but at the end of the day, we were still just trying to explore as much and understand Tokyo as much as possible. We rode the subway all over. I also intentionally put us on the subway during rush hour just once to see it, to see the trains. And husband was not having it. It was very funny. Luckily, I got to hide, but he said he's never had so many men rub up against him before. And it was, of course, all accidental, but, still. Oh, it was good. It was very good. If we got rid of the Electoral College, we would get rid of the trash. No. We just need to prevent women from voting, and then everything will be okay. My town is considered conservative despite having 4 weed shops. Yeah, I mean, if it's a town, I feel like, towns have a certain size to them. Yeah, 4 weed shops is probably too much. Who's running them? Are they ever busy? Are these the smoke shops or are they weed shops? There's a difference. Players in the game. Oh, yeah. I started to say, there's just more stuff happening. This is just what we're looking at here. Oh, he did put on a suit. He's got a suit there. Isn't that cute? President Trump has proven the experts was really wrong. China is fusing. We have the strongest investment ever made in the country. It was China, about 19 trillion over 1 year. The Biden admin 4 years was less than okay, I don't know what that's about. I was hoping for some more videos like this, but we'll leave it. It's probably a front for money laundering. They can't sell glass. Can't sell glass. Just weed. Oh, it's just weed? That's weird. Usually you see the smoke shops that are a front for bullshit. But at least Japan subways are cleaner than, oh my god, yes. Even a crowded, sweaty, rush hour train ride in Japan is still 10,000% better than being on the subway in New York City when it's a low traffic time. The chance of experiencing death is constant in New York City, so really don't want to do it. But yeah, anyway, that's it. I'll end up rambling for forever if I don't go, and my tummy is starting to rumble. Look at that. I did a 2-hour stream. I'm very silly. Thank you all so much for the love and your generosity. Thank you so much, 1992 Space Movie, for fulfilling the dreams of the art tablet arm. Bless you very much for that. Thank you all for your time. As always, please have a fantastic rest of your day. It's Thursday. I was about to say weekend. Weekend's coming up, so have a great time. I will try to see you sometime in the next few days, but I wanted to finish the month out strong. Just kidding. That's tomorrow. Oh, look at me! There's still another day of the month. Oh, we'll stream maybe tomorrow then, just for giggles. I thought today was the 31st. Was it not? Is there another day? There is, isn't there? Ooh, okay. I am all sorts of delayed. Anyway, thank you all. Please check DMs. I will have a look-see. Yes, but first I must go cook. Bless you. I'm glad that you had fun. It was a spicy one today. We definitely got into the discussions that were very much so forbidden. But that's okay. That's the fun bit. Kick also didn't work. I know nobody asked. But I had it going, and then my thing on the thing was just not having it. Oh, Sharp, thank you so much for the tippy. I'd rather get redacted in Japan than redacted in New York. That's true. It's true. Although, you know, it's funny. Both those redactions might happen by the same demographic that was wrongfully fucking imported. So who knows? It's tragic. Anyway, I love you all. Goodbye!